Hare Krishna, this is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired sex of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, may I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association, and all glories to your wonderful services. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dhandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and chanting so beautifully every single day. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, all wish Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Nami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and blessing all of us with your sweet association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Orinda from Atlanta.
Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks, Mataji, for joining every single day, chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call. Hari Bol. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Vanita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indaleka Karuna Devidasi from Elgon.
Hare Krishna, Indaleka Karuna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your wonderful services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Binita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining us every day, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Today we missed Preeti Mataji, right? It's not there. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, 62 verse. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read an introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhuji, born in New Delhi, completed his schooling and college education in Mumbai in science stream. Through Mumbai University, decided to dedicate his life for serving humanity by propagating the message of scriptures and fulfill that purpose. He took up the life of celibate, a monk, and joined International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, in Mumbai. After a few years, he moved to Belgaum, Karnataka, and served around 15 years. He then took up the charge of a new project in 2014 at ISKCON Karwar, Karnataka, India, and served for around 6 years. And currently, he is in charge of ISKCON Greater Noida near New Delhi, India. He is preaching the message of scriptures for more than 23 years. Some of his achievements in ISKCON are scriptural Bhakti Shastri degree, Bhakti Vaibhav degree, part of Bhakti Vedanta degree. I think Prabhuji has already completed or still pursuing it. Completed teachers training course TTC1, TTC2. Completed ISKCON Shastrik degree, teacher training course in management. Completed journals supervisor course of GBC College. Completed, one second, this is, I'm sorry, my mouse is not working. Okay. Completed a leadership development course for ISKCON India leaders. Teacher of Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, ISKCON Disciple Course. Responsibilities of Prabhuji are center in charge of ISKCON Greater Noida, core team member of ISKCON India Youth Council, preacher and counselor. He also gives seminar on various topics like mind control, successful teaching skills, life management, etc. in various colleges and corporate sectors. He also travels many places like Mumbai, Udaipur, Bilwar, Surat, Vrindavan, etc. in India, and also visits overseas like United Kingdom, UK, Kenya, Tanzania, Malwal, Botswana, Zambia, Bahrain, etc., to deliver seminars as a service to humanity. Beautiful services, and Prabhuji's achievements are so glorious. We are really fortunate to have Prabhuji on the call. Mataji, is Prabhuji joined already in the call? I don't see Prabhuji, so we can wait. Okay, I will chant until Prabhuji joins. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Yes, Prabhuji joined. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your wonderful services to ISKCON Prabhuji. Very fortunate to have you on the call. Thank you so much. Today, the verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, 62 verse. Prabhuji, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And is my voice clear, Mataji, to you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna. So do we have a rule here to keep the videos off compulsorily? Mataji, do we have a rule like this?
Prabhuji, this is morning time in US, so everybody is cooking. So that's why, Prabhuji, we hear attentively, but we are off on videos.
I understand. No problem. At least if they are hearing. Those of you, if it is possible for you to keep the video on, I'll be very happy to see you. But if it is not, that's okay. I understand that all of you are hearing very attentively. And I'm happy it's early morning there and still all of you are here. Do you do it every day or is it?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's every single day, Prabhuji. Every single day, yes. It has been going for more than 10 years. Yeah.
What time do you start?
We start in the morning, 4 o'clock. It's like temple program, Prabhuji. Morning, 4 o'clock, we open up with the chanting. And until Srimad Bhagavatam time, until this time, we were chanting. And now we'll listen to Srimad Bhagavatam and we'll close the call here. And then we have a Chaitanya Bhagavat reading in the mid-morning. That is, it's 10 o'clock CST. We have Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then evening, we have children program. So we have continuously ongoing program every single day.
Very nice. And how long will the Bhagavatam be?
Bhagavatam usually takes 1 hour, 10 minutes or 1 hour, and then question and answers a part of 1 hour discussion. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we will begin the class now by chanting the mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayo Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nishtiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, and verse number 62. So verse is there on your screen. If you wish, you can see it. I'll just recite the verse and then the translation word by word, and then translation and purport, and then we will discuss on that. Bhavadvaitam kriyadvaitam dravyadvaitam tathatmanah Artayan svanubhutyeha trinsvapnandhumute munihi. So the word by word meaning, bhava dvaitam, oneness in one's conception of life. Kriya advaitam, oneness in activities. Dravya advaitam, oneness in different paraphernalia. Tatha, as well as Atmanaha, of the soul, Vartayan, considering, Swa, one's own, Anubhutya, according to realization, Iha, in this material world. Trina, the three, Swapnan, living conditions, namely wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep. Dhunute gives up. Munihi, the philosopher or speculator. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: after considering the oneness of existence, activity, and paraphernalia, and after realizing the self to be different from all actions and reactions, the mental speculator, Muni, according to his own realization, gives up the three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep. Purport. The three words Bhavadvaita, Kriyadvaita, and Dravyadvaita are explained in the following verses. However, one has to give up all the non-duality of philosophical life in the material world and come to the actual life of reality in the spiritual world in order to attain perfection. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadamtukam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna. Very, very happy to be amongst all of you once again. And I'm very happy to hear that this program goes on every day for the last so many years. And this is the path to enter the spiritual world. In this today's verse, we are reading about stages, wakefulness, etc. And ultimate stage is to enter the spiritual world. And this is the process what we are following every day. So I'm grateful to all of you to join this class or this whole program every day. Now in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we are on the 7th canto and 15th chapter. Today we read just the verse number 62. So we are on the last part, we can say chapter, and in that last chapter also last section of Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto. So this is the last chapter of 7th canto. And this 7th canto is divided basically into two parts. So the first part we saw was the story of Prahlad Maharaj, and it took almost 10 chapters. So through that story of Prahlad Maharaj, what was being given in this section was the pure bhakti. So those first 10 chapters were speaking about pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti. Because in the 6th canto, Parikshit heard that Lord has killed 2 sons of Diti to favor Indra. So he was confused. He said, how can Lord be partial? I can't understand, because as far as I know, he's not partial. But here he's saying that he's killing the, Diti's son and he's favoring Indra. So how can Lord do this? And in answer to that, the whole story starts, and where he speaks about Hiranyakashipu, and then Yudhishthira and Narad Samman goes on, and then the whole story. So that speaks about pure devotional service. But when we come to the next section, so now first 10 chapters are over in the 7th canto, we have come to the next section. What is the next section? This speaks about mixed bhakti. It's called Mishra Bhakti. It could be mixed by karma, it could be mixed by jnana. So that's called Karma Mishra Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti. So now these chapters, 11th to 15, are talking about mixed bhakti. So we saw in the chapters where dharma was explained and varnashram dharma was explained. So from 12th chapter, the 12th chapter speaks about duties of brahmacharis and vanaprasthas. Then 13th chapter speaks about duties of sannyasis. And then 14th and 15th, we are on the 15th chapter. So 14th and 15th speaks about duties of a grahastha. And also in the end, now we're speaking about speculators, how the mental speculators, they imagine the things. So speaking about all, now in the last section of it. So these duties are very, very important. I suggest that you've already gone through 12th chapter, 13th chapter, 14th chapter, and now 15th almost. But you should go back on the 12th chapter, or at least on the 13th chapter or 14th chapter. You may not be paying too much attention on 12th and 13th, but pay on 14th. Duties of a grahastha. Wonderfully explained by Narad Muni. So that's how we should be. And now we are on the 15th chapter. 15th chapter is instructions for civilized human beings. So it continues to describe the rules for the householders. So in the beginning of the chapter, different rules were given for Shraddha ceremony, how to do the Shraddha ceremony, different rules of that. Then it was spoken about how irreligion can be avoided. Then it went on for a few verses, and then it was spoken that what is the process to conquer various obstacles. Like it was being spoken in that section that, you have lusty desire, how you can conquer. You have anger, how you can conquer. You have greed, how you can conquer. All these things. And then after that, a very important section came in this chapter was importance of accepting Guru. So that we studied in that. And then after that, the process of liberation for the householder starts, which goes up to verse number 40, how we can be liberated. Where after that, a very nice analogy of the chariot is given for us, that how Jnani says that body is a chariot, so senses are horses, mind, wheels, etc. So that is explained. And then path of Devayana. Devayana means how they are raising, how we can raise ourselves. This goes on. And now this section which we are reading, this is actually summary of what he has spoken about occupational duties. So this is the section where we are, the summary section, which will go up to 68th verse. And then, there will be some more description. Narad Muni's previous life will describe, and then he will glorify the Pandavas, that how great they are. And in the end, we'll see Shukadeva Goswami concluding this chapter. So this is how the whole chapter is, where we are discussing today, is like summary of all what he has spoken earlier about Jnanis also. So here the section is going on for Jnanis, and how the Jnanis try to liberate themselves. So in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning that one has to give up all the non-duality of philosophical life in the material world and come to the actual life of reality in the spiritual world in order to attain perfection. So when we are speaking of these three stages, what has been spoken, wakefulness, dreaming, deep sleep. So yes, these are the stages when we are in material world. We are alert, we have very active with the senses or with the mind. When your swapna means active mind, wakefulness, jagrata means active engagement with the body, and sushupti means a kind of an unconsciousness. But beyond these three states, there is a fourth state. It's called transcendental state, which is beyond material consciousness. And what is that stage? That stage is where one is fully absorbed in Krishna. And that is the reason Prabhupada is writing. You see, in the verse translation, there is nothing mentioned about the spiritual world. There's nothing mentioned about Krishna consciousness. It just says about three stages. But Prabhupada is mentioning that the actual life of reality in spiritual world, one should try to attain. Why is he writing this? Because the fourth state is a transcendental state beyond this material consciousness. And how can we achieve that? By performing bhakti, by being in Krishna consciousness, by utilizing everything in Krishna's service. And ultimately, trying to achieve or trying to enter, I should say, the spiritual world. So that is the perfection. People want to get liberated. You know why people want to get liberated? People want to get liberated because they are fed up of the material world. They are fed up of the anxieties and troubles of this world. They don't want to get liberated because they want to achieve Krishna. They don't want liberation because they want to serve Krishna. Most of the people who are not in proper consciousness or in Krishna consciousness, so what do they want? They want to, I'm too disturbed, I'm too troubled, I want liberation. But that's not the right motive, and that's not the right path to achieve spiritual world. Spiritual world should be achieved only for one reason, and that is for serving Krishna. Otherwise, we Even if we are thinking in this world, oh, this is troublesome, let me get liberated, nothing is going to happen. That's not the correct motive. We have to accept the spiritual world where it's like a vast ocean of happiness, of bliss, of seva. You just imagine you're standing on a beach. So what do you see when you are on the beach? Like, I remember when I was a small child, we used to go to the beach. We were staying in Mumbai, so we used to go to the beach. And so we used to make something from the sand, like they call it castle or something. So something we used to make like that, and then we jump on it and break it, something like that. I don't know whether you do it there or not, but I'm sure at least you know that we do it. So imagine you are on a beach and you made a very nice, beautiful castle, sand castle. And you put a lot of efforts and it's looking very nice, very beautiful. And when you look on the other side, what is there? There's a vast ocean, very deep ocean, peaceful ocean, I should say. So this side is an ocean, this side you have something very beautiful. But when you look at the ocean, and when you look at this castle, of course, you get attracted to the castle because you have built it, because it looks beautiful. But we should understand that it is temporary. So the waves will come and then just destroy you, yourself will destroy. It's temporary, right? So you may get happy by seeing the castle, but you can't use that castle. You can't stay in that castle. It's a sand castle, that's all. But then when you go, when you look at the ocean, a lot of things in that. So similarly, this simple analogy can help us that understand that there are two distinct realities. One is not the reality, we shouldn't say reality. It seems to be the reality. And one is actually the reality. Material world and spiritual world. So we are here and we look at the material world, that is sandcastle, and it looks so attractive to us because I have created and because it's looking very nice and all those things. But we forget that this is temporary. Whereas the other side, there is an ocean of bliss. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. Rasamrita means full of rasa, mellows. And it comes by bhakti. So there is an ocean this side where we can go, we dive deep into it, and then we can enjoy that rasa, enjoy that happiness. It's not an ocean where you'll drown yourself and die. It's an ocean where you can enjoy. It's the ocean of bliss. So what we would like to choose? This temporary thing, sandcastle, or the ocean of love, ocean of bliss, ocean of happiness? So, purpose of life should be that we try to go beyond this created dreams, what we have here. See, Krishna has two energies, material energy and spiritual energy. Material energy creates the world we see around us. And spiritual energy animates this material creation. Without spiritual energy, without Atma, without soul, nothing can work. It is the spiritual energy that is giving the life, not the material energy. What is material world? We are here in this world. Actually, to be very frank, when we are here in this world, we don't even think of going back home, back to Godhead. We don't even think about Krishna. We don't think about, going to the spiritual world. Why? You know what is this world? This world is a playground of desires. So we have a lot of desires and we have been given by Krishna, provided one playground. Okay, you play. Like, sometimes you take your children to a ground, a playground, and then you leave them because that it's all surrounded. They cannot come out. And then you're just watching, standing outside. And the children are playing. They get so, absorbed in that. They don't even look at you. They forget that, okay, parents are there till, you force them, okay, come on, now we have to go back. So they're just playing, enjoying. They feel that this is good. They have a small car, maybe a toy car or something like that. And they feel, oh, we are driving, we are doing this. This is what the world is. We have a lot of desires. We are like that small kid who has been thrown into this playground. Krishna is watching from there, and we have forgotten in fulfilling our desires. And then we get some toys, some position, some power in this world, some facilities, some possessions. And then we are very happy with that. We get absorbed in that. And we forget that parents are standing out. Krishna is standing there looking at us. Come on, look at me. I'm here to take you back home. So this material world is just a playground of our desires. But the problem is, somebody can ask, so what's wrong? Let's keep on playing. It's a playground. Let's keep on playing. Why should we worry? There is a catch. Here, like when you leave the child in the playground, what happens? It operates. There are some rules. Okay, after this time it will be closed. This will not be allowed. Children can't do this. So this material world also, it operates under some laws, law of karma and time. Like if the child hits his head onto some stone there, he will get hurt. He will start bleeding. And then if it's already 6 o'clock in the evening or 7 o'clock in the evening, and then it has time to close, then you have to go out. Time is up. Same thing is here. Two things work, karma and time. So we go on doing something, we feel, yes, that will make me happy. But whatever you're doing, there are the consequences of that. And what are the consequences? You go on taking birth, one after another. When we are doing activity, we don't realize where is it taking us. So you go on doing the work again and again, again and again. And what happens? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, janane jatare shayanam. That you go on taking birth again and again. So that's the consequences. That means suffering. We want to be happy in this world. But then because of our action, which we thought would make me happy, there are sufferings. And then time. Everything in this material world is temporary. Everything. In fact, this understanding that everything in this world is temporary can make us happy, peaceful, or can make us, or can I should say, can make us so disturbed, troubled, in anxieties. Why? One thing, if we understand everything is temporary and we want to enjoy, we are not getting it. Oh, that gets finished, this gets finished. So we become disturbed. But if you just understand that everything is temporary, miseries of this world are temporary, happiness is temporary, the relationships are temporary, the possessions which we have are temporary, the post I have got, the honor I'm getting, the praises I'm getting, everything is temporary. So then we will be peaceful. Okay, it will come, it will go. We don't get disturbed by that. So, but why do we get disturbed? We get disturbed because we are so absorbed in this world that we think ourselves as Krishna. We think ourselves as enjoyer. I want to enjoy. Maybe sometimes you should play a game. Let's see, all of you have gone to some kind of picnic or somewhere for a visit. So whenever you go, I'm sure you may be going, all of you together somewhere. So what you should do next time when you go, play a game. A game is that turn by turn, you will become the king for some time. So everyone will get a chance. Okay, now you are the king. Now you are the king. Now you are the king. This material world is like that. Every soul is getting a chance to play God. In their own world, in their own way. Okay, today I feel okay, I'm God. I can control everything. I can do this. I want to be happy. I want to be enjoyer. So you get exams. But actually, in this world, we try to do that. We try to become God, but we cannot. Because this world is a place of competition, anxiety, dissatisfaction, which is not there with Krishna. Whom will he compete with? Why will Krishna has anxiety? Why dissatisfaction? So even if we try to become God, even if we try to enjoy, but what happens is we are always frustrated and then we suffer. So that is why we should turn to the spiritual world. Now, spiritual world is a life without anxiety. If simple, suppose we want to define in simple words, what is spiritual world? Oh, you're talking of spiritual world. You think we have to go to the spiritual world, we have to serve Krishna. What is spiritual world? In simple language, if we want to understand spiritual world, life without anxiety. Because this world, life cannot be without anxiety. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was preaching to his father, you all have already gone through those chapters. So when Hiranyakashipu was very happy and he took the child, okay, tell me, what is the best thing in the world? And Prahlad Maharaj says, Tat sadhu manye asurvarya dehina sada samudvegna dhyana sadgraham hitvatmapatam grahamandhakupam vanam gato yad harimashrayeta. So he was addressing his father, Prahlad Maharaj. When his father asked, what is the best thing? So he says, Tat sadhu manye. You're asking me what is the best thing? I'll tell you what is the best thing. Manye, my opinion. Here. Tat sadhu manye. Asurvarya dehinam. He's addressing his father as, oh, greatest of the demons. Asurvarya. I was just thinking one time when I was reading this, that if in this world one child addresses his father like this, oh, greatest of the demons, what will happen? But the Hiranyakashipu was very happy hearing that, because he was thinking, I'm greatest demon. So Asurvarya Dehinam, he says, whoever has taken this body, Sada Samudvigna Dhyan Asatgrahan, they will always be in anxiety. Prahlad is saying, Sada Samudvigna. Udvigna means anxiety, and Samudvigna means full of anxiety or topmost anxiety, you can say. So as long as you are in this world, you will always be in anxiety. And I don't have to explain that, isn't it? You have experience. Every day, we wake up with anxiety, we sleep with anxiety. We wake up, okay, this has to be done, that has to be done. Today, this work has to be completed. And while sleeping also, oh, I couldn't finish this, let me do it tomorrow. So spiritual world is a world or a life without anxiety. Why? Because in spiritual world, nothing gets destroyed. In this world, we are in anxiety because we know what we have, we will lose it. The people we have around us, we lose them. The position I have, the body I have, the beauty I have, the money I have, the power I have, I lose it. And when you are in this mentality, or when you're thinking, how can you be happy? But in spiritual world, nothing gets destroyed. So there is no anxiety. Oh, I might lose. I have a person, I have a relationship. I'm not scared that I will lose that person. I think many years ago, there was a survey done in many countries. And the question was that what is the greatest fear you have? That was the question. Amongst all other questions, this was also the question that what is the greatest fear you have? And more than 50% answered that losing my partner or losing my spouse or losing my family members. That was the greatest fear they had. So here in this world, everything will get destroyed, and that brings anxiety. But in spiritual world, nothing is going to be destroyed. Your body will not be destroyed. Your beauty will not be destroyed. Your relationships will not get destroyed. If you're related to someone that is eternal, you'll always be there. There's no anxiety of losing the person because you will never lose the person. Such a nice thing, right? So that is why life without anxiety. So the difference is in the material world, we struggle a lot to be the center, to control, to dominate. And that is why anxiety is there. We always want to dominate. No one should come. No one should take my position. We struggle for that, to be the center of attraction. I know better. I'm not better. I know the best. I can do this in a best way. Others do not know. I want to be the center. Okay, people should look at me, how nice I am. People should appreciate me. And then we want to control everything. We want to dominate. That is material world. And because we want to do this, there is always struggle. But in spiritual world, where is the focus in spiritual world? It is on service. It is on giving rather than taking. Material world, even while serving, we want to take. What do we want to take? Okay, you're doing some service. Anything you're doing. So you want some kind of recognition. You want some kind of returns, or you want to feel happy yourself. I'm happy, that's why I'm doing. I won't do other thing. This thing makes me happy, I'm going to do it. So there is an expectation of again being happy. But in spiritual world, there is no expectation that I'm serving Krishna, I'm serving this, and I should become happy. The focus is on service, not on the results. Focus is on giving, not on taking. And that is why that world is a world of happiness. Spiritual world is a life without anxiety. Spiritual world is a world where everyone wants to give. Spiritual world is a world where there are no expectation. I don't want to take. And when there are no expectation, when you're not expecting anything, you don't want to take anything, you'll be happy. Simple thing. Because by serving Krishna, it is not that you won't get anything. You'll get the highest bliss, but you are not expecting it. Just imagine you get something without expectation, how happy you will be. You didn't expect that you will get a lot of money and suddenly you get a lot of money in this world, you become happy. You didn't expect that person will love you, that person will be very caring for you, but the person shows that care and love, you'll be very happy. So in the spiritual world, when focus is on service, and material world, focus is on me. I, and I. So that is why one time I was speaking about a very great saint of South India, Kanakadas. When his guru, his guru was sitting and others all were sitting. And Guru asked Kanakadas that Kanakadas, pointing out that one of the sannyasi disciples of his, that, okay, will he go back home, back to Godhead? He said, no. And he pointed to another, will he go back? He said, no. Pointed to another, will he go back? He said, no. The Guru pointed to himself and said, will I go back? He said, I don't know. So then finally Guru asked, okay, will you go back? He said, if I go, I'll go. As if it's just like this for him. He said, if I go, I'll go. So all others who were sitting there, they were so disturbed. He said, what is this going on? And this person is so arrogant. He thinks he can go, and for all others, he's saying no. So then the Guru inquired from Kanakadas, please explain. And Kanakadas said the same thing. Kanakadas said, I said, if I go, I'll go. That I in me, I as a center, that has to go. So when that I am the center, I can do this, when I go, I go. So that is what the difference between material world and spiritual world is. So such a nice feeling in the spiritual world. Focus is on serving. Focus is on giving. Here, the focus is on taking. And I'll tell you, the service done in this mood, where you don't expect anything, gives us the highest satisfaction. And we can get a glimpse of this in this world also. Like, there are a lot of acts which are done as a selfless service. Like a mother caring for her child. So mother doesn't expect, in general we say, of course, later the expectations also come, the child should do this, at least he should. But in general, when the child is small and the kid is small, then she takes care without any expectation. And you can imagine, you see the happiness she gets just by caring for the child, which doesn't happen when the child grows. Or you help us someone, help some person. That brings us a sense of deep joy. So these moments are closer, we can say. We just get a glimpse of it. That just by doing that service, you get happiness, whereas you've not achieved anything out of it. The mother caring for the child, what does she get? She's not paid for that. She has to, give up her sleep. She has to give up her all kinds of activities and just be with the kid. But she gets the joy, that happiness. So similarly, so these some of the moments can tell us that how the spiritual world happiness will be. Here you're serving your child and you're getting happiness when you serve the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who is the perfect person. What kind of happiness we will get? So this spiritual, this happiness, that's why you see in this purport, Prabhupada is very clearly writing that one has to give up all the non-duality of philosophical life, material world, and come to the actual life of reality in the spiritual world. So reality is in the spiritual world. And for what? In order to attain perfection, Prabhupada is writing. So perfection is not in achieving something material in this world. Because whatever you achieve in this material world cannot satisfy you. I mean, you can imagine you trying to do something. You want to cut something very hard. Say, for example, you have an iron piece and you want to cut it into two parts. And what are you doing? Maybe you've taken a tablespoon and then you're trying to cut. Will it happen? No. How hard you try, nothing will happen. Because spoon is not designed for cutting. It is meant for something else. Similarly, we all, soul, we are not meant to achieve happiness through this material world. Why we are not meant? Because these happiness, these pleasure, they're temporary in nature. Like, when you are in maybe in a desert, and you're very thirsty, you're looking for water, you don't have water, you're looking around, and then you see somewhere far, you see water, and then you run there. There's some water, let me go and drink. And you reach there and you put your hand just to take that water, and then what you find is hot sand. So this is how the happiness of this world is. That sometimes we get something, but then it also brings the thirst. It makes us more thirsty. So we have to ultimately go back home, back to Godhead, as Prabhupada is explaining in this purport. That is the reality. That is how we will be happy. And how will we reach there? Go back home, back to Godhead. How will we reach? So then we hear, oh, it's very difficult to go to spiritual world. It's very, very difficult to purify ourselves. It's so difficult to give up all the attachments. It's so difficult for me to give up this material world. How will it happen? See, if you think that spiritual world is too far and I'm here, it's not possible for me to reach, it's not like that. The good news for you is that you can, anyone can attain the spiritual world by developing proper consciousness. So we are here in this world. We can experience the spiritual happiness even in this world. Prabhupada writes that there are different kinds of liberation, mukti, and one of them is Jiva Mukta. Jiva Mukta means you are here in this world, you have a material body, but then you are experiencing the spiritual happiness. Say, for example, Srila Prabhupada. He was in this material world, he was having a body, but then what was he doing all the time, 24 hours? He was experiencing the spiritual happiness. Why? Because he has dedicated his life for service. So how we can do that? That's an important thing. Prabhupada is saying, okay, you should, in the purport, Prabhupada is saying you should strive for the spiritual world, try to give up the material world. Yes, but how can we do that? Very easy. First of all, we have to align our lives with spiritual principles. So we should see that what kind of spiritual principles we are following in our life. That should be under guidance, not that sometimes like because of onslaught of this social media and so many things on the internet, we try to become spiritual with our own imagination or with our own endeavor. Okay, let me go, let me Google out, let me see, how can I be spiritual? Type it, how can I be spiritual? Cut. And then you'll get so many documents. Oh, you can be spiritual by this, you can be spiritual by that. And then you take one or two and then you start following. It will not help. So aligning yourself with spiritual practices under the guidance of a guide, a mentor, a person who's following the path, who has experienced that bliss and can give you that bliss. So that is the first thing we should do. And when we have aligned ourselves with the spiritual principles, the next come is we should engage in practices. Not just we have understood the principles, we are engaging in the practices, spiritual practices. And we should offer our service to others and especially to Krishna. So ultimate goal of human life is not material success. I'm repeating it. Why am I repeating the things again and again? Because it should go inside. We have to hammer it again every day. The ultimate goal of life is not material success, not sensual enjoyment, not intellectual achievement. It is returning to the spiritual world, back to God. That is the perfection of life. So for that, you need to understand the spiritual world. Spiritual world which is beyond the birth, death, old age, and disease. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. It is the highest planet or highest spiritual planet. In that is also Goloka, where Krishna is residing. And this world is full of anxiety. Sada samudvigna dhyan asat grahan. Prahlad Maharaj says, always will be anxiety if you have taken the body. Or Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this is a world dukkhalayam ashashvatam. But spiritual world, full of bliss. So the purpose of human life is self-realization. Purpose is, and what is self-realization? Self-realization happens not in one step. It has 4 stages. The first one is to know who you are. The second one is to know who is God. The third one is to know what is my relationship with God. And fourth one, to engage in the service. That is called self-realization. So this life is meant for self-realization, to achieve our real identity, to place ourselves, as Srimad Bhagavatam says, this human life is rarely achieved, but it is temporary. Durlabham manusham deho dehina shanabhanguraha tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. So it says that durlabham manusham deho, this human life is very, very rare. Durlabham manusham deho dehina shanabhanguraha, but this is very temporary. So then tatrapi durlabham manye, there is something better than this. You have a human life very rare, but then you have something which is rarer than this. And what is that? Vaikuntha Priyadarshanam. That is, it says, seeing the devotees of the Lord. Vaikuntha Priya. Vaikuntha Priya means those who are very dear to Krishna, devotees of Lord, just to have their darshan, Vaikuntha Priya Darshanam, just by looking at them, just by hearing from them, just by serving them, we get highest perfection. So that is why we should strive to enter the spiritual world by performing devotional service. So every day, chant your rounds very attentively, very carefully. Because by sincere chanting, we purify our heart. And not just that, sincere chanting has 2 effects. Main. One, it purifies the hearts, Chetodarpan Marjanam. And second, it revives the dormant love for Krishna. It just doesn't purify your heart, it also revives. So that is so important. That's why we should chant very attentively, very sincerely. In life, everyday life, like you all are coming, morning you're attending the class and then morning you're chanting and then attending the class, etc. So what should be our goal? We should keep in mind that every day I will chant attentively, I will hear submissively, and I will serve humbly. So very, very important thing. Chant attentively, and then hear submissively, and then serve humbly. So we will purify our heart, and dormant love for Krishna will be revived. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Brahad Naradiya Puran, it is declared, Mahaprabhu also said, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, eva kevalam, kalau naste va gatiranyatha. So we have to go on chanting. This is the only way. So to enter, process of entering spiritual world, one is chant attentively. Second, strive for developing Krishna consciousness. Go on cultivating. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, vismartavya na jatuchit. See to it that every moment you are able to remember Krishna. That will be the perfection. So keep hearing, keep chanting, keep remembering, keep serving, keep worshipping. That is required. So that at the time when we are leaving our body, very crucial time, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale chamam evam smaran muktva kalevaram. If we practice that, in the end, Krishna is saying that if you remember me, Antakale chamam eva mam eva. Very important thing, only Krishna. Not that also Krishna. Krishna says, Mameva, Antakale cha Mameva, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. So what happens to him? He certainly comes to me, comes to my abode. So that we should do. And the third very important thing is we should detach from the material life. Don't go on developing attachments. Don't go on trying to find happiness in this world. Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. Minimize your material desires and focus on Krishna. And as devotees, we should do that. Forget about the world. Let the world go where they want to go. Don't look around and see, oh, he's not doing it. They are not doing it. They are happy. They are getting money. Forget about it. Focus. Prabhupada said, everyone has to fly their own plane. So minimize material desires and focus on Krishna. That's the third thing. So we are discussing about entering spiritual world. I said chanting very attentively. Second, I said develop Krishna consciousness, like constantly think about Krishna, hear about Krishna. Third is detach from this material life, which is giving us again and again birth and death. And simple thing is, as Prabhupada mentioned, simple living, I think. Simple living doesn't mean that you give up your house, you don't stay anywhere, just go in a forest and stay. Simple living means from the heart, we don't attach to the facilities. Yes, it is there, use it for Krishna's service. But otherwise also continue to serve Krishna. And then, as I mentioned, that what will happen at the time of death, we will remember Krishna. That is the ultimate test for all of us. So if we remember Krishna, we'll attain his abode, even though you may be sinful throughout your life. Like there is example of a Jamil, very sinful, but in the end, unintentionally he called out Krishna's name, although he called out his son, but it was Krishna's name, Narayan. And then he got an opportunity to be liberated. So we don't think that, okay, I am such a sinful person, Prabhuji, nothing can happen to me. I don't think so, I will go back. If you're saying like that, that means you are not having the faith on the power of the holy name. It can deliver anyone. It is said in the Bhagavatam, Kirathunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abhir Shambhaya Vanaka Sadaya Ye Anye Cha Papa Yadapashraya Shraya Shuddhanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha. So that is the thing. That it says Kirat, Hun, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha. These are all considered to be very, very sinful people. Ye Anyecha Papa. Whoever more sinful people are there. Yanyecha Papa. Shuddhanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha. They also can be purified by the power of the association of devotees, by the power of the holy name. So we should understand that the perfection of life is going back home, back to Godhead. Uniting or reuniting with our internal family. We have spiritual family there waiting for us. And we are here trying to establish relationships here and there temporary. And then again they are lost, the next life again and lost, and again lost. We go back to Krishna, we go back home, back to Godhead. Reunite with our eternal spiritual family there. They are waiting for us. That was Prabhupada's mission when he came here to guide people. So that is why we should understand this, that in essence, what I spoke today is human life is a rare opportunity. Let's not waste it in material pursuits. It's just foolishness to do this. Perfection means to revive our relationship with Krishna. That's the real perfection, as Prabhupada is also writing in the purport. So perfection means reviving our lost relationship with Krishna and returning to the spiritual world. And that can happen by chanting the holy names, by developing, cultivating devotional service, remembering Krishna, etc. And we should understand that Srila Prabhupada came to give us the greatest gift. And Prabhupada's greatest gift to humanity was teaching us how to end material suffering and attain the spiritual world. So, material and spiritual worlds offer two different experiences. One is temporary, full of competition, anxiety, stress, while the other is eternal, filled with bliss, filled with love, filled with harmony. The choice lies with each of us. Do we continue the struggle to be the king, quote unquote, king, in a temporary sandcastle, or do we go to the eternal ocean of spiritual happiness? The choice is ours. Prabhupada says at one place that if you simply accept Krishna's instructions, surrender to him and chant his holy name, you will certainly go back home, back to God. And that is what we all should do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your attentive listening. Do we have any questions? If anyone would like to ask something. Shama
Hare
Gauri.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class. Very, very beautiful class and basic understanding of Krishna consciousness, why we are in this path, what gives us, and what exactly we are doing in daily basis, like how we start our day and how we end. By doing this, we can get out of this anxiety that we have, and also the example of a child playing in the park. We are also in this park, thinking that this is a beautiful park, and we are playing with all these toys, not knowing that our Father is waiting for us. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you. I would like to see if anybody is raising their hands. Already we have raised hands. Shamagori Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, and thank you so much for your kind association to us this morning. When you were saying about the, Antakale Chamamiva means like, you have to remember Krishna. So I just remembering passing away my father. He recently passed away. And surprisingly, there was no devotee around because we didn't know that he is going to go now. And he was telling, show me picture of Krishna. So my sister-in-law, she doesn't like too much in Krishna consciousness, but she showed some picture, and he said, no, not this picture, Radha Krishna's picture I want to see. Actually, he made all the arrangement, give me my japa beads in my hands, and because nobody knows that he's gonna go, he's asking beads, they gave the beads, and he left his body looking at the Radha Krishna's picture and chanting. Even the day before, night, he said he woke up in 2 o'clock and he started doing kirtan, loud kirtan. And my mom so surprised, why he's doing kirtan in the night? And she said, why should I stop? She also joined, and nicely he was chanting. Means he has done by everything for himself, because, and I was telling to my mom how, what should arrangement should be there while passing away, and she didn't tell to him, but he did that, and all the mercy of his grace Shami Krushi Prabhuji, he gave him an initiation a year before. He was reading Bhagavatam, all the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. All the devotees so happy.
So nice to hear, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very nice. Krishna makes arrangement.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Devotion and his devotion. Krishna never forgets even the smallest service which we do to him.
Yes, Prabhuji. Means I got the realization that, he, all his life he has done all his job and worrying about, children and property and this and that. But at the end, he read Bhagavatam Like 1 year he was completely in Krishna consciousness. And that 2 days, final 2 days, he was totally in Krishna consciousness. He did not remember anybody, not any relatives, no children, no nothing. Only Krishna. He was simply talking about Krishna only. So everybody was surprised what happened to him. Like that, they were saying, what happened to him? He's not talking to us. He's not talking about us. And he's simply talking about Krishna. So that's what I just wanted to share, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So nice, so happy to hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Shamgori Mataji, for sharing that. Vasundhara Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranams to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. First of all, Prabhuji, it was just a beautiful, whole lot of insights, simple yet subtle. Uh, I just had a kind of a query, more than a query, it's an inquisitive kind of a feeling, Prabhuji. You made a mention of Antakale Chamameva, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. You gave an example of Ajamila. Of course, we all understand the background of Ajamila. He had performed whole lot of devotional services also, right? And in our cases, at least in my case, Prabhuji, and you said that, Smaran happens, right? But the Smaran happens based on the sadhakas being free completely from the contaminations, right, Prabhuji? Otherwise, the Smaran can't happen just like that. I mean, am I right or wrong in understanding, Prabhuji? Because we all think, okay, I'm chanting 16 rounds, I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing, performing deity worship, so on and so forth. But I don't know. And definitely I can't compare to Ajamila because that's a pastime A. B also we know the background of Ajamila there. So I was always thinking that, for a person to remember, because we perform all this Navavida Bhakti, basically to ensure that we smaran, we remember at that point of the examination. So for a sadhaka like me, so the smaran can happen only when I'm completely free from contaminations, Prabhuji, or mercy of Guru Krishna. Sorry,
Okay.
please.
Thank
If
you.
my
Thank you,
question is
Mataji.
weird.
Thank you for a nice question. See, we are in Kali Yuga.
Hmm.
And Kali Yuga, our bodies are not like Rolls Royces or Mercedes. These are like Khatara cars. You know Khatara cars? Do you understand Khataras?
I don't
So,
know Hindi, Prabhuji. Sorry.
okay, these are like useless cars,
Oh,
Those
okay, okay.
earlier,
Trash.
earlier times we used to have cars where you had to push the cars to start.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of thing. So in Kali Yuga, our bodies, our consciousness, it's not like what we used to have it in earlier times.
Hmm.
So in these times, that is why Mahaprabhu just gave a very simple thing, chant the holy name.
Hmm.
Because you can't do perform tapasya, all other things. So now question is that whether the remembrance will come only when we are fully purified, what will Krishna see?
Hmm. Hmm.
See, Krishna will see only our endeavor. How much endeavor we have put to please him. Even though you are not fully purified,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have sincerely tried, you have struggled, you have tried to follow the instructions of acharyas, spiritual master, very sincerely. Your intentions are clear, but maybe you were not able to purify yourself. Krishna will
Mm-hmm.
take care of it, and in the end, he will purify you. So,
Okay.
obviously, the principle is that one cannot go back home, back to God, unless he is purified. But at the time of death, because of our whatever we have done,
Hmm.
like Ajamil again, we were quoting Ajamil. So Ajamil had done something, in his early age, 20 years,
Hmm.
25, something helping his father and other things and engaging. But then all other years he was completely sinful.
Hmm.
He had given up everything. But then in the end, just by taking the name of his son, he was given an opportunity to purify himself. So
Mm-hmm.
similarly, Krishna's remembrance will come. What Krishna sees is not the result, but the effort, what you are putting to please him, to worship him, to serve him. And he will be pleased with that. Mahaprabhu is, that's why he called Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. What is Mahavadanyaya? Is magnanimous, most magnanimous. Not just magnanimous, Mahavadanyaya, most magnanimous. Why? Just sees, okay. Like, for example, Jagai Madhai's story, right? So what did Mahaprabhu see? That Madhai just held on to the hand of Jagai. No, no, don't hit him. That's all. He stopped him. That was enough for Mahaprabhu to bless them and to purify them and shower his mercy on them.
Okay.
So that is what we understand, that although as spiritual principles we need to, yes, definitely purify, but it is a mercy of Mahaprabhu that he will just, for small endeavors of ours, who will purify us.
Hari Bol. Thank you for giving that hopeful insight. Grateful to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Dandavats.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My name is Balavinda and my age is 10 years old. How to maintain your chanting regularly?
How to maintain?
Yeah.
Chanting.
Chanting.
Okay. Do you chant now? Sometimes?
Yeah. 6 rounds and 8 rounds on weekends.
Which is every day or sometimes?
Every day.
Oh, so you're already maintaining. Why the question?
Sometimes struggle.
Sometimes I have struggled to do it.
Yes. You see, you shouldn't worry. Whatever we can do, our best, put our best. And as far as chanting is concerned, Krishna will see if you're putting your best, and sometimes due to some situations you are not able to put your best, it's okay. But otherwise, intentionally, we should try to put our best. Second, you should think that as I am eating every day, as I'm sleeping every day, and this is for good health of my body, isn't it? If you don't sleep, if you don't eat, then your body will not grow or you will not become strong. So for the strength of the body, every day I'm eating, every day I'm sleeping. Similarly, for the strength of the soul, every day I should chant. Otherwise, the soul will become weak. And what will happen? Slowly, slowly, you will only be here in the world, but not happy, but not successful. So real success will come when you think about both, body also and soul also. So for the body, eat, sleep, exercise, play, and for the soul, chant, hear whenever you get time. And how to keep it regular is number one, thinking that this is required for the strength of the soul, otherwise we'll become weak. Second is, you should feel grateful to Krishna. He has given us so many things in this world. You know, you go out, you get fresh air, oxygen to breathe. Nobody is providing, no government is providing that. No demigod is providing that. Krishna instructs demigods, Krishna instructs and it is given. He has made arrangements here. We can think, oh, material nature is providing, the trees are providing, but trees are providing by the instruction of Krishna, because he knew that we will need oxygen to survive. So then we can look around and see what he has done for us. So in a mood of gratefulness, we should also at least chant his name. Nothing more he is expecting us. Third thing is, he is our eternal Father and he's waiting for us. He loves us. He is giving everything in this world to us. We should just look at him and offer it back. Like suppose your father or your mother gives you a chocolate, and before eating, you just give it to your parents again. Okay, would you like to take a bite? And they will be so happy that you are doing this. This is how we do for Krishna. So considering all this, please try to chant every day. And also very important thing is, I'm very happy that in your age you're chanting, but important thing is that you can start sending every day a small message to someone, some devotee, that, okay, I have chanted 7 rounds or 8 rounds or 6 rounds today. That's all. If you start doing that, you'll see how your chanting will become better. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. We have Sudhakar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Beautiful lecture. In one of the lectures, you mentioned that there are 4 stages of realization, right? Who we are, and then who is God, and our relationship to God. The fourth
Right.
one I could not catch, Prabhuji, if you can.
Okay. I was explaining about self-realization. That people think self-realization means to know that you're not this body, your soul. But that's not complete. That's only first stage.
First one, yeah.
Second stage is, you know yourself, okay, I'm a soul. But then we should know who's God also. So then second stage is who's God. Now third stage is, what is your relationship? We are part and parcel. We have come from him. Mame vansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So that's the third stage. Now realizing all this, your own position, Krishna's position, and your relationship with that. What should a person do? When you come to know that you're actually part of Krishna, then you have to serve the whole. So that is the fourth stage, service. Unless one engages in the service of the Lord, self-realization is not complete.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Is there any more questions or realizations that anybody want to share? Please go ahead. I don't see any raised hand, Prabhuji. We can end the call here with your permission, Prabhuji, and we look forward for your association again and again in this forum. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa
Pasindu Bevacha, Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Atul Krishna Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.